Won that, won that, won that. Got it. Duval, number one.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Inside JSO. We love showing you behind the scenes, and this is a program that I think everybody needs to know about. Super special, especially if you're a young person or if you have kids. So we have the great Officer Jen Robinson from Community Engagement. You see her out and about on our social media, does a lot of the fun events. You've got a pretty cool job, don't you?
I do. I love it. It's the best job here.
Awesome. So you're flanked by two of our awesome police explorers from the JSO Explorer program. So I know that both of you have a lot of exciting things to share. I want to start with you. Just tell us who you are, how old you are, and I know that you just got into college, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm Irvin Bartley. I'm a two-year explorer, joined in May 2024. And currently, I'm attending Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Okay.
Studying Homeland Security, largely because of this position I am in right now. I've always wanted to be a police officer, and this was one way to start out and take it easy without getting too intense, with the full scale of employment.
Yeah, that's great. So how old were you when you started?
I was 16.
16, okay. So you've been in about 2 years, super exciting, and I love to see that, one, you're in a good school, you're in a program, and you're in a program that's building upon what you've already learned.
Right. Yes, it's great. It's a great way to supplement, what we learn here, because here is community engagement, involved with the public. Homeland Security is that kind of behind-the-scenes work that you see, not always going on with emergency preparedness and things that kind of go on in this building that no one really gets to see outside.
Sure, absolutely. So we're peeling that back. So over here, I know that you are a sergeant with the Explorer program, also First Coast High School.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, tell us your story. Tell us who you are, how old you are.
Yes, my name is Kendall Larkins. I am 18 years old, been in the Explorers program for about 4 years. Like I said, I was a freshman in high school, class of 26. Best class. I graduated the Explorer Academy in November of 2022. I think then I was promoted to sergeant after taking an exam in 2024, like early 2024. But let me go back. 2023, I graduated from the FBI Youth Leadership Academy.
Okay.
So that was good. That was pretty fun. I was in Camp Landing. It was a week long, going through like leadership skills, a lot of class, a lot of classwork. A lot of team building, early morning, late nights. Yep, that's pretty much it. Right?
Awesome. So what do you want to do with your experience? Are you trying to stay in the law enforcement track?
Yes, sir, I am. So my end goal per se, I want to be a vice detective.
Okay. Yeah. So our vice and narcotics detectives do a lot of work all the time. So that's good. You're going to have to go undercover, though.
Yeah, I think I'll be good at it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I think so. I think you've got the
Especially
skills.
while you're young. Like, then you look the part.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, you could make that work. So Officer Robinson, this is great. And these are two of your superstars, but I know that you have many more. For people that don't know what the JSO Explorer program is, what does it mean for our community, and what exactly does it entail?
If you are 14 to 21 years old and you want to be in law enforcement, or if you just want to learn about it. So the program was built on just learning about law enforcement, so you can decide if that's something you want to do after you graduate high school. So what we don't want you to do is go to college, get a degree, or go through the academy, and then you realize, this is not something I really want to do. So if you come and join me, you will know immediately if it's something that you want to do.
Right. And I know that, we've got two teenagers here. Y'all don't look like you're out causing trouble, but there are, if you follow JSO social media, we do put a lot of stories out about teenagers, young men and women that are in our community that are out causing trouble. Is this helping give kids a positive outlet?
It does, because not only do we teach them law enforcement, they are engaged with officers. Because a lot of our youth these days, they don't trust the police, they don't like the police due to social media, no interaction that they've had on their own with officers. So once these guys get to know us and they realize that we're just normal people, we have fun, we hang out, I stay on top of them with their grades. We have to have so many community service hours. So it is a really good mentorship program for them.
What have the results been? Have you had some become police officers?
Absolutely. So he is about to now go CSO. We just had one graduate CSO. He's on his own now. We have several that are patrol officers.
Wow.
And one that is now sergeant.
Wow. So when we say CSO, we mean community service officer.
Yes.
Those are the officers that are out there. They're directing traffic. They're writing crash reports. They're responding to assist the police officers. And a lot of times people who go CSO eventually do become police officers.
But they get their start with us.
Yeah.
So, because not only do you do like community service, a lot of our kids, especially this one here, they do the ride-alongs. So that is like something that they have to do every quarter.
Okay.
They have to do a ride-along with either a CSO, air unit, which he loves,
I do that.
patrol, and they just love it.
So that's you whizzing above us in the helicopter.
Yes, that's him. That's him. Yes.
Yeah. What have you learned from the ride-alongs?
That policing is not like what it may seem, right? It goes beyond just enforcing the law, right? When you have what makes a good officer to me is someone that can not only protect and serve and do that, but help others, going above and beyond, actually seeing that first person and not, well, especially like a lot of people, they'll know that I'm in the Explorers, right? They'll be like, oh, you mess with JSO, you do the police inside in the whatever. But when you actually there and actually see it, like, especially Officer Robertson, when I get with her, like, this is my second mom. This is my mom right here. So, and then on the ride-alongs, my favorite one is personally is the air unit. So, I'm gonna give you like one thing that happened was we were on a call for I think it was like a possible kidnapping. The navigation went down in the helicopter and I had to tell the officer where to go. Like he didn't know where to go. That was one of my favorite experiences with that.
And
So
then
you
had
helped
the
nav.
other Explorer.
Oh
You
yeah,
were riding the
it was-
helicopter,
yeah.
and
So
the
we're
other Explorer was
yeah,
in
let's-
patrol,
and the patrol at the same time.
looking at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
we were telling each other where to go.
So on the ground and in the air.
Yes,
That's
helping
pretty
each
cool.
other out, yeah.
What are you doing? You're just mapping it out? On
No,
your
no,
phone?
I looked over, like, he leaned the helicopter over, and I just looked out the window. I was like, oh, yeah, keep going, and keep going. This way. He didn't know where to go. He didn't know what side of town he was on. But it wasn't a kidnapping, but that's good. So
And I want to know about your experiences. What fun have you gotten into?
Well, I have a bit of a unique experience with the ride-alongs. Instead of going out onto the street, I kind of get mine at home with my dad.
Okay.
He was JSO for 25 years.
Oh, okay.
He retired in 2015. And, it's something really cool to add on to what Kendall was saying, that community impact. My dad will be out and we'll be at the store having dinner, and he will just say, hey, this person's staring at me, I don't know what's going on. And they'll approach him later on, and it's someone that he arrested. It's someone that he dealt with in corrections. He started as a corrections officer,
Sure.
similar to the sheriff. And they always say thank you. And he has no clue what's going on, but they're thanking him for his kind impact and for his kind words and for understanding that there are children who go out there and just don't have a stable home. They
Right.
grow up and they become, endangered adults, and that's kind of the best ride along for me, is to see that amazing impact even 30, 40 years later on these individuals.
So you learned about compassion,
Yes.
right? There's times when police have to be tough, right? It's that human side. So you got to see it, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Your dad must be stoked that you're following in his footsteps.
Yeah, he told me it's a dangerous job, and at first I had to convince him a little bit, but he's happy.
Yeah. What did your dad do when he was at JSO?
He was patrol. He was
Patrol?
patrol for a
Okay.
while, and then he moved to sex crimes, which is now called, I think, special investigation.
Special Assault Unit.
Special
Yeah.
Assault
SAU. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I can't imagine the things that you
Yeah.
have to deal with there, and to maintain that compassion and integrity.
Sure.
That's something.
Sure. Yeah. SAU detectives see some of the worst cases and scenarios, and heartbreaking situations, but they're protecting the victims.
Yeah.
And they're going out there. So I love watching you watch them speak, because you are proud, right?
I am.
You are
I
proud.
am.
These are your kiddos.
These are my babies.
Yeah.
67 of them.
67 babies.
Babies, yes.
That's one
Yes.
one Explorer for each county in
Yes.
the state of Florida. So what do parents need to know about getting their young men and women, right? Because I know that we got 2 gentlemen here, but we've got plenty of women
Plenty.
in the Explorer program. What do they need to know about enrolling them and getting them ready to be part of this?
And I think I actually have more girls than boys.
Yeah, we do.
Really?
There's definitely more
Yes,
girls.
we have more girls than boys. But as long as they're enrolled in high school,
Okay.
they have to be 14 years old, at least 14 to apply. Because we do shoot pistols and we have pistol teams and some things that we teach them, we just have to be age appropriate.
Okay.
And they can stay in the program until they're 21. But they can get on joinjso.com or JAXSHERIFF.org and they'll see the youth tab and we have our application there.
Okay. And let's talk about the money.
Okay? We are completely free.
Wow.
Free
for them.
free.
Free 99.
Free.
Okay.
I'll say it
Yeah,
again.
that's hard
Free.
to find. That's hard to find nowadays.
Yes.
It really is. Nothing is free. Even filling up your tires with air used to be free at the
not
gas
anymore.
station.
No, we are
It's like a
completely
couple
free.
bucks. So free. Obviously, this cannot be done for free. So, how does it get paid for?
We have one major fundraiser that we do every year,
Okay.
which is the Players Championship, which gives us major dollars for participating in their parking, working their parking lot, and the other money comes from the trust fund that we get.
Okay.
So,
All right. And this is giving back, right? These
yes.
programs, these resources, they cost money, they take time. The sheriff's office, we're able to, devote time and resources
Yes.
from community engagement. You and some of your, brother and sister officers are able to help out. So really, you put it together and you make a difference. What's the long-term impact that you've seen? Obviously, some have become law enforcement officers, police, or corrections, but do you think this actually has a direct line to cutting down crime in our community?
absolutely, because these kids learn not only police procedures, but they take this back to their peers. So their peers are seeing what they're doing in the community. And it's kind of bridging the gap between law enforcement and teenagers because there is that gap still there. So it's bridging the gap when others can see them, see what they're doing, what they're accomplishing, and it helps us big time.
So you went to Oakleaf, you go to First Coast. Tell me, do your friends ask about it? What do you tell them?
Oh, they ask sometimes.
Okay.
I just they refer to me as the one who's going to be a cop. So if they get crazy, they know not around me or just to tone it down completely.
Okay.
I'm happy to have that influence.
So you check them sometimes and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
keep them on the straight and narrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Yes, for me, we had like the MLK parade, and then we were walking in it. I see my friends. They say hello. It's not. They're not really negative about it. They're just like, this is the people. They'll be like, oh, you're JSO, you're police or whatever. Why are you doing that? Then I explain to them that it's not what it may seem. People like it's like false. I can't think of the word. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word,
Sure.
but a false sense of something that is not.
Right.
And it's not just policing, it's making great friends, right? I like my best friend is come because I joined the Explorers.
Wow.
And especially going on trips, you get to know a person a little bit more when you stay with them.
So I'm going through the list right here of some of the things that you explorers get to do. And this is pretty cool, right? Building searches, crime scene investigations, crisis intervention, domestic violence, dispatch, radio procedures, pistol usage and safety, traffic stops with unknown risks, traffic crash investigations. They've got the physical agility test.
Yes.
Officer Robinson, this looks a lot like the coursework that I see at the academy.
Absolutely.
The police academy.
Absolutely. When they finish with me, they are ready to be police.
Okay.
They know how to work every call. They're in shape. We get in shape.
Yeah, a lot of shade.
Sometimes because we don't want to, but we get in shape. Their grades are good. They're just great citizens, and they have so much community service. We do community service every month. There's something going on. So we're out there in the community. Come join us. We would love to have you.
So you said that we've got 67 right now.
Yes.
Is there a limit? Is there a cap for explorers?
I do not have a cap.
Okay.
We place them in groups, which we call, with our sergeant, they have squads, so they're all
Sure.
color squads. So they maintain that hierarchy. So everyone is in their own division, own group, own post.
Right.
And for those that really don't want to be police officers but just want to be involved, we have a post that is strictly community service. So
Okay.
the kids only do community service.
Because there are skills that are transferable. That discipline, the physical preparedness, some of the safety and the awareness, I'm sure would help for many types of jobs.
Yes.
because when you see somebody that's disciplined, that's regimented, that's refined, you know that they're going to go out there in the world and they're going to divide and conquer.
Because we have some kids that want to do this, what you're doing for JSO.
Yeah.
They want to do IT. They don't necessarily want to do law enforcement. So,
Sure.
but they're still with us.
All right.
They get the community service hours. They travel. We have a good time.
I mean, we have a large and super hardworking IT department, because when you do call 911, when you do need that help, you want to make sure that everything works well.
Correct.
So, Mariah, you've been guarding some things over here, and I want to wrap by showcasing these. So you can just bring them on the table, wherever. We thought they'd be distracting for the entire segment. So the guys really wanted this, so they raided the trophy cabinet. They dusted some of these off. Yeah, we could slide them down too.
Yes.
So
Yes. Hi, Mariah.
there she is. Yep.
Hey, Mariah.
Glad to have her too. So thank you. So anyways, these are really, really cool. I see some first place, some second place.
It's a lot more, by the way.
It's
There's
a
a
lot
lot
more.
more.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
A lot
is. Yes,
Yeah.
it
No,
is.
I can vouch for that, because I go down the
Yes.
hallway and there's some trophies that are almost as tall as me.
Yes.
So that's really cool. So what are these and how are they earned?
I'll let Kendall take
Okay.
it. 'cause he's
All right,
the
come on,
big
Kendall.
sergeant
Okay,
around.
so
Big Sarge.
this is our.
Hold up, just
We're blocking his face. We
Oh,
can
my-
leave that on. That's okay. We don't have to cut this part because that just shows the dynamic.
true though. I mean, that's not.
There you go.
So basically, just like you said earlier, we train on certain police scenarios, and there's a this program called the Florida Sheriff's Explorer Association, which I am the Northern Vice President of.
You are.
Let's go.
Woo woo.
Don't do that.
VP.
There you go. And we train and we win. That's it. Train and win.
We train and we
And we
win.
win.
All we
And
do
win.
is win.
All we do is win.
And we
Okay.
win.
We win. So right here, what is this? Active shooter. So basically, they'll set up a active shooter scenario. I would say it's pretty much like the same police active shooter scenario. There's like fake casualties and people running, blood, screaming, shooting, or with the Sims rounds. That's what that active shooter is for this one. We did that. That was pretty good. We got first place at that, of course.
Of course.
Of course. That's humble. Real humble. Building search. So I have a funny story about this. Building searching. It's either we'll go too slow or too fast. That's all I'm gonna say. Building searching is like she said, a slow, methodical move. Slow and methodical. So we'll end up flipping these and go too slow in the active shooter. All right, man, go too fast in this and end up missing something. But that's all in training, right? You learning that early and getting like a lot of training that we have in like repetition and critiquing, recording, and doing all of this to make, like she said, us being ready to be police officers.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who we have right here? What was it? Yeah.
Crisis intervention. So like mental illness.
Yeah. That's important.
That was a good. I remember that one. Let me. So that one was, it was a, I think a dad, that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a dad. He was taking it. He didn't take his medication, which caused him to not want to be around anybody, not take care of himself, not wash his clothes, being able to, whatever. The daughter had called in the scenario. He was sitting off to the side. We went over and talked to him. I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit. When we went to detain him to be able to take him to MHRC, which is Mental Health Resource Center, in the scenario, he started fighting. Now this is the first time we actually were fighting the person.
hands-on.
Actually went hands on with the person.
This is a scenario.
This is a scenario,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we were not expecting.
Making sure I'm following.
Yeah, it's all
right.
a scenario, right? But he was actually fighting us, and it was like 4 of us jumped, had to get on one guy. He was pushing back and doing whatever we were able to safely in the scenario,
Safely.
safely of course, detain him and be able to get, first place.
And Duval was the only one that fought back.
I want to fall back. So we hands on. We just like that. That's what all we do is win again.
So in the competitions, they go in as the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Right.
So they're decked out. They have their stuff on, gun belts, ready to go. So they go in as Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. They work it, and we compete against all of the counties in Florida. It's the Florida Sheriff's Association. So we decided to take a trip up to Gatlinburg and compete against everyone in the country. So it was a national competition, and we actually did very well. We placed in 5 of the events. So it was good to see other agencies from other states and how they do things differently than how we do things in Florida. The different laws, the kids were a little amazed at how different laws travel from state to state. So it was very, very good. And getting them an opportunity to see snow, because some of them have never been out of the state of Florida, to see snow. We took them skiing. We ate some crickets.
No, we
and
didn't.
We ate some crickets and some
Intentionally?
worms, intentionally.
Okay.
And we did some tubing. So
yeah.
we had a lot of fun. It was a good experience for them. If it was just discipline, I would probably lose so many kids. But along with discipline comes fun, and along with fun comes discipline. So we just like to give them and show them things that they may not see if they're not with us. Hanging out with the
Other explorers,
the
other
other explorers from other counties.
Yeah,
It's
especially
like, yeah.
That's a lot of that. A lot of grouping up. It's just nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Cool. So, more in the future?
Oh yes, certainly. I will definitely be staying, and got my eye on corrections, so we'll see what
Yeah.
unfolds.
Listen, you two are both shining examples, and I just got to say, proud to work in the same agency as you all. Jen, you know that we're cool. You know that I love what you do, so appreciate it. So just want to circle back one more time. You said joinjso.com. That's where we're recruiting, by the way. To
Absolutely.
police, corrections, dispatch, 911 operator,
CSO.
CSO, civil service officers,
Yep.
civilian positions, all that. So join JSO.com. That's your home for all things jobs
JSO, yep.
at JSO. 14 to 18 years old to be eligible to apply, but you just got to apply by 18. After that, you can stay until
21,
your 21st birthday.
14 to 21.
Yep.
Yeah, so got to keep up with those scholastic standards, and then got to keep up.
Because Officer
brought up.
Robinson does check. She does come to the school.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't she? Yes, she does.
All right.
Yes.
Tell me about a time you went to a school.
Oh, I have a wonderful one with this young man here. So we got a call that he was not doing what he should be doing at school. So I decided to make a visit, which I do anyway. I just drop in, have lunch with him, just surprise him. And I dropped in, and he was being his Kindle self in class. And I walk in, and all the kids are like, "Oh my gosh, JSO!" And he turns and he sees me, and you could just see the life just fall out of his body. Just fall out of his body. And I said, "Hi, Kendall." But we haven't had any issues since then, have we?
No.
Wonderful young man now. Yes, but I will pop up. I
Hey,
like to check
we
on
all need redirection
Yes,
from time to
I
time.
love to check on them, let them know that I'm there.
Good. And I'm sure it's good for y'all to know that you got a
Oh, yeah.
support system too. Obviously,
Yes.
you got your family, you got your friends, but you've got a support system here at JSO.
Yep.
Good. Well, thank you all. This is super awesome, and look forward to getting more of these for the desk.
2026.
Let's do it.
2026.
Clean sweep.
JSO Explorer program. You can apply year round.
Yes, you're right.
Year round. Okay. But get them in quickly, right? Get your kids involved with this. It's important. And, maybe you're interested in the Explorer program. Reach out. If you got questions, we'll connect you. Reach out to us at JSO, and we'll connect you. You can call community engagement, and they'll answer those questions. So we have more Inside JSOs to come. Thank you. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share this with your friends.
Let's put it right
Because,
here. Like, subscribe.
yeah, they go boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Yeah. Now you just gave extra work on the edit. But anyways, share this with your friends because we at JSO are always working to let people know about the great resources and about the great programs that we have for our community. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.